Today we're going to talk about interleaving. Now, this is a learning technique that you can use to improve retention and, let's say, skill acquisition in a specific field, we'll say. So the place that I had learned about this is in tennis. So obviously there's many skills that you need to master to be good at tennis. No one is ever mastering anything and no one is actually good at anything, so whatever. I don't know why I said that. Okay, so you have your forehand, your backhand, your ground strokes, right? You have your serves and all these different things. So is it better, question for the audience, is it better to practice 50 forehands and then 50 backhands, or alternate between backhands and forehands each time? Okay, this is kind of a trick question because, better is strange, but like the truth is it's better to do blocks of a specific task if repetition is what you need to do, and then interleave them with other tasks once you learn them. So it's almost like you need to forget the thing you just learned. You don't want to repeat the thing you just did. You want to repeat it enough until you lock into a technique, have your body learn it, and then you want to switch to help your body forget, and then you want to go back. So really like a nice way of practicing would be to do, 10 backhands, then 10 forehands, and, alternate between the two. So interleaving actually is shown to have a longer retention period and a faster skill acquisition, faster being in fewer attempts, we'll say. So that's a really important thing, that once you repeat something, which is, sometimes you have to drill things, right? Once you repeat things, you kind of get into the habit of doing the same thing you just did, and that doesn't activate the free recall part, which is what we really need. So I also used this when I was learning how to do a Rubik's Cube in less than 20 seconds. So the idea with the Rubik's Cube is that you solve the first part using kind of like logic. You solve the second part using, let's say you solve the first part using visualization. You solve the second part using logic and a little bit of creativity. You solve the third part using a formula, and you solve the fourth part using a formula. Now the second part, the creativity part, what I'm going to call F2L, is I think the hardest part, and what they say you should practice most, because that actually takes like a lot of like visualization, creativity, problem solving, choices, decisions, right? As well as like some dexterity and all that stuff. So F2L is the heart of a Rubik's Cube solve. The first part the four parts: the cross, F2L, OLL, PLL. That stands for cross, first two layers, orient last layer, and permute last layer. More Rubik's Cube stuff you don't totally need to know, but I wanted to, just give you a little baseline explanation of what the fuck I'm talking about. So OLL and PLL are memorization. There's like 100 algorithms, which is you need to recognize a specific pattern and then execute a specific set of movements. So the recognition is in itself, difficult. It's a pattern matching kind of test in multiple orientations, whatever. And then the execution can be difficult. It does require some dexterity often. But the important thing is you need to memorize all of these algorithms. And that's just drilling, that's just memorizing. It's getting these things into muscle memories. Visualize muscle memory, bam, bam. And so the way that I started by practicing this was I would take one algorithm and I'd do over and over and over again. But you know what? I did them so many times and I couldn't really remember them. But once I had started it, it was easy to finish it. So I had created a connection between the start of this thing and the rest of the muscle memory, but not really the ability to free recall it out of nothingness. I had to have done it before, and then I could do it easily. So once my hands knew what they were doing, I could do it. But I couldn't just I couldn't go in order and do all of them very, very quickly, So once I switched my memorization technique to use interleaving, it made it so much faster to memorize all these things. I've forgotten a lot of them now, but hopefully I'll go back to it, spaced repetition, come back every 2 months or whatever and kind of review them, and the algorithms will kind of stay there for a long time. But interleaving is a super important part of being able to memorize things when you are drilling them. Physical things, forehands, backhands in tennis, things like, Rubik's Cube solves, things like calculations, executions, facts, and figures. Really this works with everything, and I would suggest if you do have multiple things to drill through, to drill them in blocks. interleaved blocks. A, B, 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 bad. A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, good. All right, that's it. Okay, so that's interleaving. Next time we're going to talk about periodicity.